Greetings everyone and welcome back to Rimworld and of course to our Darkworld series, where in the last episode we got ourselves a friendly grizzly bear. Now I have allowed the comment section to fill with opinions, and the opinions are vastly in favour of keeping the bear, but for various different reasons, honestly. So is the bear about to eat Rocket? Is it going to cuddle up with Rocket? Oh, that's actually remarkably sweet. Perhaps the bear has an overdeveloped maternal instinct and knows that Rocket is feeling a little bit lonely. That is actually incredibly sweet. But we are going to be keeping our bear. Now, lots of people had various reasons for wanting the bear to stay. Many of them were emotional ones, and I can't say that some of our colonists wouldn't be swayed by such emotions, but there were a good couple of practical ones as well. The first thing we're going to do, however, is get our animal into their own animal area. You're not going to be allowed in here. You're going to be allowed in Area 1. And Area 1 is, well, actually, if we go to animals again, manage areas, can I... doesn't look like I can invert it easily. Alright, well this will be named... can we rename that? There we go. Outdoors. Actually, that's a bit of a generic name and that might be used for uses for our colonists. Outdoor animals. There we are, that'll be a little bit easier. Now then, we want to paint this zone, and first and foremost, we want outdoor animals to restrict access to everything beyond that door. Anything beyond that door is a no-go for you. I kind of don't want you messing with the insect either, so I'll probably take care of that in a moment as well. And down here, all of this, no-go. And additionally, should we make this entire area back here no-go? Yeah, let's make this whole area back here a no-go for you as well. This way, we don't have to worry about you going up here and tangling with our insect friends, who are our friends, no matter what anyone else says. There we go, and there we are. We'll just fill that up just to make it nice and pretty. So, you may be wondering, well, why are you giving it the only place it can go is these places? Well, actually, go into areas, we can simply invert it. There we go. So, our bear friend will live outside. Our bear friend can eat whatever it wants to eat outside. As long as it's outside, it's fair game. And sometimes when it has eaten something, we might come out, or partially eaten it, we might come out and enjoy those noms as well. The bear will generally be able to handle itself. And, you know, for the times when it wants to be warm, it's going to be able to come in here once this is properly all hooked up. Then that will actually be quite warm as well. Now, we have almost finished the expansion of our freezer area back here, which is particularly nice, our butchered area. Let's go ahead and reinstall this a little bit further back. Let's pop our butcher table right down there, I think. And same here. Let's move you around. There we go. Once all of that is done, we can replace all of this with a much larger freezer area for all of our meats. That should work out quite well for us. Let's go ahead and give you a bit of light, though. I don't much like it that you're having to toil without any visibility, though perhaps maybe I could have this over here instead, actually. That way you're right behind the light. That would work a little bit better for me, I think. Yeah, let's just shunt that back. We're going to expand out this zone, make it a nice zone back here, and we're going to put down maybe some proper flooring over there just to make it look a little bit better. Do I want a wooden tile? Well, we actually don't have many floor types. We've got slate, we've got marble. Let's go for checkered, slate, and marble then. Right there. That'll do. It'll actually look very, very nice, I imagine. We'll expand this on out properly there as well. There we go. That should be plenty good enough, I would imagine. And we're already working on some more stone blocks. Perfect. All right. Next up, if we have a look at these rooms, well, this room is not particularly nice. If we have a look in there, it's a dull room. This is an awful room. This is an awful room as well. Let's try and improve these a little bit if we can. Smoothing the floor is a very simple thing that we can do, and it should hopefully greatly improve our colonists' mood as a direct result of that. Buttercup said something about crazy cranes to Leaf. Leaf chatted with Buttercup about other colonists. Very well. How's Alton doing over here? Should we give Alton a little bit of light? I don't know if Alton actually likes light specifically. I believe Alton was an underground who doesn't actually mind the darkness. Well, that's fine. That is fine. Well, we'll keep Alton here for a little bit as our guest, learn a little bit more about the others whilst we're able to. Now, as for... we're actually starting to run a little bit low on the meat side of things. So I think we're probably going to head out and take out a couple of the ibex. Sure, and the rat as well. We won't mess with the boars just yet. I think we'll leave that one for the time being. Right, okay, well, other than that, things seem to be progressing reasonably well over here. So I'm going to let the colonists just, continue to build up their food stocks whilst digging through this wall. Though, before we go, let's just double check that we are actually researching something useful. We are not, so how about we consider that then? Let's see, what would we like? We've got tree sowing, that is very, very good for us. We could get pemmican, perhaps. I don't think that one's necessarily a super high priority right now. We've got electrics. Geothermal power will probably be the next one for us. If we can get geothermal power up and running, then things are going to get very, very good for us. So sure, that's what we're going to be working on for a little while. So I'm going to put a cut down here. It is the 5th of September. It is midnight, and I shall see you soon. It looks like we have some cargo pods. You've detected a cluster of cargo pods crashing nearby. Perhaps you'll find something useful in the wreckage. Let's go have a look. We've got Panthera fur. Very well, it's not a bad little gift from the heavens, I accept. So far, the colonists have mostly just been hauling materials around and making slow but steady progress. Rocket has been converting quite a lot of the rock chunks that we have into stone blocks, which will be very useful. And as you can see, our food stores are quite plentiful for the time being. We're unlikely to have to worry too much about this sort of thing for quite some time. No, rejected proposal. Oh no. Redwarp proposed marriage to Erin. Erin rejected the proposal. Eric Redwarp Anderson is going to be unhappy about this. Oh dear. There is trouble in paradise, it seems. Okay. Oh, you don't like Kirsty. Why? Buttercup lied about you. Well. Okay, this is going to be a difficult time, to say the very least. Let's have a look at Erin. I mean, at least they're still on good terms, very good terms, actually. But, it does appear that there are some issues springing up. Buttercup, why are you lying to everyone? I don't know. Buttercup has been a bit of a gossip monger, really. I'm a little bit surprised, given her kind nature, but a lot of her gossip seems to be to the detriment of one of the other colonists. To her credit, she does make a point of apologizing fairly quickly, but still it causes issue. To say the very, very least, it causes rather large issues for our colonists. But as you can see, still got a long ways to go. It is currently the 9th of September at 2 in the morning, and I'm just going to allow rockets to build up our stockpile of stones. I've actually tightened the bills here. We're going to be making marble, slate, and granite blocks in that order up to 200, and at that point it'll be paused and it'll resume once there's only 100 left. And should we have less than 200 blocks and be unable to perform these for some reason, we'll just make blocks out of whatever chunks we can find. Ideally, hopefully, there should be some on the map. In fact, you know what? I'm going to adjust this one and say, if we get to this point where we lack a supply of at least 200 stone blocks, then you can grab the chunks from anywhere on the map. But all the others will only accept from here. So it's down to our haulers to bring them in. It looks like we're doing okay generally. Oh, okay. A group of tribespeople from the Green Swamp, Lurksoxa, have arrived nearby. They are attacking immediately. Let's go and have a look. They're hostile, but they're not at -100, so it's not one of the pirate factions. Okay. They are sending a far, far more significant group to attack us. There's a bunch of caribou there. I wonder what's going through their mind as they approach and just see the snow, the pristine snow, just covered in blood. What kind of terrible machinations must they be imagining? At any rate, I would like a couple more of these if we can get some. Which direction they go around is going to make a big difference, though. Let's pop a couple of deadfall traps just here and there, where I can, where they are most likely to try and take cover from us. Sure, something like that. Now then, of course, I'm going to want to get all of our people inside, but if I could get you guys to work on just a few of these, that would be grand. You don't have very long, so it's going to be Rocket and Erin. Erin, actually, are you any good with construction? Yeah, reasonably. Oh, no, sorry, I was looking at Hunt. Okay. Well, she's not terrible, I guess. Leaf, going to need your help here as well, then. Could you please get down there and work on this spike trap? You're probably not going to be able to finish it in time. In fact, this is a job that we should have begun a long, long time ago. Buttercup, you can stay inside. Red Warp is doing okay, about halfway through their research. Red Warp, I'm going to want you down here. Now, this is going to tell us which way they go. Okay, Leaf, actually, there's no point. Let's get you back. You can hold position there. Rocket is putting up one of these there. Okay, good. Erin, perhaps they're going to split up. They are. Okay, Erin, move. Actually, stay over there. We'll be fine. Rocket, can you finish that? No. Rocket, you cannot finish it in time. Pull back. Get out of it. It's fine. Oh, good shot there from Erin. Let's see. Where did you hit? You hit Emu. Woodpecker chatted about using sickles with Emu. And then Erin's bolt-action rifle bullet pierced Emu's pelvis and torso with artistry. It was a bit of a flourish. Maybe a bit of a... bit of a rifle kata going on there. What on earth were they teaching you in your security academy? My goodness, right. I want you to draw back a little bit. Fall back. You're exposed there to arrow fire. I don't want to see too much of that going on. Draw back a little bit further. You go ahead, get inside. Rocket, follow suit. Let them... Ooh, our bear is going out. Is she going to get hurt? She might be. The bear is going straight for one of the archers, but has drawn their warriors away. They're going to continue to take significant damage, but that was enough. They have decided to flee. We're not going to allow them to flee, not after they wounded our bear companion. Let's have a look at you. Dead in 9 hours. That's actually quite a significant wound as well. Okay, take them down. Leave them many, many wounded. If you can, actually just wound them. Don't kill them. It'll put a strain on their tribe for much longer. A death is something, whilst traumatic and mournful, it is a thing that has happened, and that's the end of that thing. Whereas a wounded colonist, especially if it's a wound that becomes infected, that's going to be a constant drain on their resources for quite some time. It's going to take them much longer to recover with wounded tribespeople than if we simply reduced their numbers. And I imagine, although perhaps the rest of the colonists are a little bit mortified with this, Red Warp is thinking critically and perhaps even without any visible display of empathy. It's just numbers to Red Warp, and this is how we have to fight. This is guerrilla warfare. We need to wound them. Unfortunately, we didn't allow you to live. Erin and Rocket not entirely on board with this plan. It's a little bit morbid for them. That sounds like something that perhaps Ethan would have come up with. No, we're not going to be going with that one. Not for now. But let's bury the dead where we can, or at least pile them in. I need someone to treat our grizzly bear friend. Hopefully you are going to do that. Is anyone going to be able to do this? Let's just see. Who's our doctor? That would be Erin or Red Warp. But Red Warp is currently researching. Is Erin going to take care? Watching for targets. No. Go ahead. Erin is straight to it. Well done, Erin. Rocket. Capture Marulo. That's a shaman. They are one of their wise ones. We should be able to get some good intelligence from this one. Just don't let Red Warp in there. for now. I think everyone's a little bit weirded out, but just how much it seemed that Red Warp had thought about this. Red Warp doesn't even really notice that they're a little bit weirded out, and if he did, I'm not sure he would really care. Red Warp's in a fairly good mood, and that's all that really matters to Red Warp right now. Alright, major break risk though. Rocket is really unhappy. Night owl in daytime. Yeah, you need to get back. You're drowsy. Inside the environment, you've seen many corpses. Major break risk. Alright, let's check on our grizzly. Our grizzly should be okay. Erin is doing the best we can. It was mostly cuts from bows. Perhaps we should have used some higher quality medicines, but this is going to have to just do for now. But on that note, we are going to need a name for our grizzly pair. So on this episode, I will be pinning a comment down below where you can suggest a name. It can be your name. It can be just a name that you'd like to suggest for our bear companion. And as always, Chaoticles will peruse the offerings and select one more or less at random. Chaoticles isn't one into thinking things through too much, though obviously there will be some exceptions. There are obviously some names. It's like, why on earth would they name this? Murillo has died. We weren't able to save you. That is a shame. That is a massive shame because you had a very good cloth duster. I wouldn't have mind getting. Oh well. Those are dead ones apparel now. Alton, you may notice, is fully clothed at this point. Right, well, we're going to have to get another corpse out of there then. So much death. So much death. Only Red Warp doesn't seem to be affected by it, but the others, even though they attacked us, the weight of lives doesn't sit well with the rest of the group. These are interesting and very dark times. Well, this is rather interesting. A group of dromedaries, abandoned or lost, have wandered into the area. They seem accustomed to human contact and are joining the colony. How many? 2. We have got two female dromedaries. Well, this is a bit of an unexpected one. Okay, let's have a quick look at dromedaries. Now, dromedaries are a very useful animal for a number of reasons. 1, they grow wool, which you can shear regularly. 2, they produce milk, which you can milk regularly. Furthermore, they are a pack animal and a strong one at that. Let's have a look. Carrying capacity is 150. That's very nice. They require vegetable seeds, live plants, meals, processed foods, liquor, or kibble. However, now that one's going to be more difficult for us. That's actually going to be very difficult for us. Until we've got hydroponics, it's going to be rather awkward for us to try and produce enough food for them. We could make processed foods. I think, yeah, we can just make meals for them. Okay, well, they will produce milk, they'll produce wool. Wool is very useful for a number of things that we can't currently make, but this is a difficult question for us. Alright, if we want to keep them, we're going to need an area for them. I think we're going to need to make an area over here just for the time being so we can decide. That being said, animal pen let's go for. That's a little bit easier. Alright, let's set up the animal pen area. Well, the animal pen can actually just be out here. There's no reason for it to be indoors. There we go. Now, as much as I wish they would, these animals are not going to gather food from the nutrient paste dispenser. What we can do instead, let's build a little area over here. Little door as well. Let's go for a granite door. Now, currently, our colonists are on paste. Rocket, you were on simple for a little while. Well done. But we'll pop you back on paste. Now, paste should just be nutrient paste meals. Okay, with this, let's make a little zone. We will disallow everything but meals. And only simple meals at that. I would eventually like kibble, but we haven't got that right now. We will make this a high priority and important storage location. So meals will go there first. And we will name this animal feed. Now hopefully it's going to be sufficiently cold that any meals that we put there aren't going to be used up. We can carefully prepare these meals though over time. Alright, this was an unexpected requirement, frankly. Now we only have one room that we could make use of here. I'm going to repurpose this room. Well, actually no, a cold room shouldn't be too much of a problem for us. Let's go ahead and pop down an electric stove. We have the materials needed to do this. It's going to be a bit chilly, but it'll have to do. Let's get a steel dining chair right in there. And I'm also going to shrink this zone here. And let's go ahead and pop down. Unfortunately, we don't have any kind of sterile tile floor. It's a big shame. But we're going to set this up. And one thing that I have been considering for a little while, we're going to build another battery as a result. We want to have a secondary battery built to ensure that should one battery break, because these batteries can simply break. That is, they can break down. If they break down, they lose all of their charge. And whilst we're running on one battery with unstable wind power, that could lead to some very, very awkward realities for the colony. There is a wolf just taken out a ball there. Okay, now I guess we're going to need to know whether we're keeping our dromedary as well then. This is going to be a bit of an interesting one, it really will. Very, very interested in where this is going. Let me know in the comments, obviously, whether you think we can sustain these animals. We're going to have to be cooking meals for them. This is in no way efficient, at least until we get hydroponics up and running, which may need to be a focus for this room as fast as we can. If we can get some hydroponics set up in here, we might need to even consider expanding out these walls a little bit to accommodate it. In fact, along those lines, let's go ahead and do just that. How about something like this? There we go. Yeah, that seems reasonable. And there we are. We'll build this room out much larger so we've got a bit more room for our growing operations, which are at this point becoming a little bit more than I had initially expected. We'll need some pillars to support the area. I believe that the geothermal is that large. I could be wrong though, so I'll be ready to change that up. A food binge, this is not what we need. Happened because of poor mood. Well, I guess when the only food that you can really get to is nutrient paste, it's not as terrible as it could be, but still not ideal at all. It is currently the 10th of September. It is just coming up towards 8 p.m. and our dromedaries should be heading into their new pens. We haven't got them food yet, and we do need that to be made rather urgently, actually. Why have we got combat sounds? Something curious is going on there. But it doesn't look like it's too much of an issue. It seems to have resolved itself. I could have... There is one way we can try and deal with this. I could have someone try to gather food and then immediately recruit them. The nutrient paste meal will just be discarded to the ground, but that is definitely working against the intention of the game. So I'm going to try and avoid it. Obviously, our colonists are not going to let our dromedaries perish to this, but it's definitely something we're going to have to look into. How is your food need right now? It's okay for the time being. We should be able to get that going for now. Let's go ahead and pop down a wall light right there. Since this is just a cook's area, I am going to close off that vent for now and allow this place to warm up as best it can. It'll slowly adjust its temperature based on the internal temperature here. which is leaching a lot of its temperature through this vent. Alright. Minor break risk. What do we need there? We need some more components. Okay, well, it's not going to be too hard for us to get hold of. No, actually, we've got... Oh, we've only got one. Very well. Let's go ahead and dig out some more components over here then. Rocket, if you... you've already done it. You've locked yourself in. Well done, Rocket. Go ahead then. In that case, time for you to start desperately digging yourself out again. Good old Rocket. I mean, at least this is one way we're going to get it done quickly. I wasn't going to force them into it, but Rocket has done it of his own volition. Not really of his own volition, you understand? I don't think he wanted to do it like this, but it's the way it's worked out, so... Oh. Well... you're going to need to wake up, actually, Rocket. And then, after that, I'm going to need you to take care of this one. No sleep for you until you're no longer stuck in the room that is slowly going to cook you. And not even that slow, actually. It's going to cook you fairly quickly. It's going to be a very, very swift roast if you don't get on top of this right now. There we go. Major break risk. Yeah, I'm not too surprised about that one. Let's get this whole area walled in. There we go. Alright, well, at the very least, we're starting to flood warm air into the rest of the colony. And that is of no small importance to us. But hopefully we can get this excavated soon as well. Alright, if I could prioritize that, though, would someone care to come down here and do a little bit more mining? Anyone? Mining is the lowest priority that anyone has, so if there's any other job that needs doing, they will prioritize doing that one. Erin, I'm afraid I'm going to force it, and Buttercup as well. I need those components because we need to get the food for our Dromedary right now, pretty much. Our bear is fully healthy again and is out there. It's got a bit of a scratch scar. That's fine. It's a mark of your dedication to the colony. There we go. Let's get all of this broken down. We'll get the light and the cook stove set up. Temperature in there has already started to improve. Temperature out here is quite nice. We've now got a little area sandwiched between two warm areas, so the temperature will gradually work itself out. Rocket is not in the best mood right now. Really, you're gonna do it again, aren't you? You are. That is... No, you're building roofs. Okay, that's not as bad. I thought you were about to be an incredibly massive derp, but it appears that you managed to hold yourself back a bit. Now, we've got quite a few animals out there. Our bear has been doing generally quite well, feeding itself where it needs to. We've got enough components now, I believe. But Rocket is off to... No, you're not going to build that. You had your chance. You're now going to build these. Get in, please. My lord. Right, no. Please build that one. There we go. We need this cook stove up and running because our dromedaries are going to start getting hungry. Okay, now, it may seem completely bonkers that we're going to be making meals for our animals, but we're eating nutrient paste. But they can't. Or at least, again, we would have to struggle with that. Do until you have just 2. I want 2 simple meals. At any time, you can even use their own milk to make the meal, though. That's a bit of an interesting one. Any meat will do. You can definitely use the insect meat here. In fact, I'd kind of prefer you to. Okay, we're going to do a bit of an interesting one. We're going to deny meat and then allow only insect meat. That way, we'll go through this first. Go ahead, just make 2. And take 2 animal feed. That's the only one where I want it. There we are. And then after that one, have another one for do until you have 2. But this one can just use its regular orders. So we'll cook with the animal insect meat first, wherever possible. And then we'll... see? Here we are. Oh, my lord. Oh, dear. Well, that is... a lot of things happened there. We've just got another spacecraft chunk falling from the sky. These have been happening with some frequency. Unfortunately, I think the colony has more or less come to terms with the fact that whoever is plotting the routes for the various merchant vessels, they haven't got the word out in even 400 years that this system is still a no-go. Or perhaps these are scouting vessels. They might even be automated probes for all we know. But all we can hope is that these are unmanned and that there is a minimal loss of life, though there is definitely a significant loss of time and resources in the ships that are falling out of the sky. Right, but we had a large change in faction relations. Some are tending towards positive relations, some are tending towards their hostile relations, which, you know, this is gonna happen over time. There's not too much we can do about it, but as you can see, our battery did, in fact, break. And that is exactly why we built a second, is to guard against these potential issues. Could someone please work on that? Perhaps Rocket, where are you? You're heading in after building the roof, aren't you? Yep, you are. Well, fair enough then. Let's just get you indoors, and hopefully you'll take care of that. There we are. Well done, Rocket. We need to make sure that that is kept well. Leaf is preparing the meals. Good. Let's have a look at you. That was a nice, hearty meal of insect meat. There we go. There's a second one. Now, if only we had hives that reproduced. I know some people, the idea, what, you want hives? What kind of madness is this? Clearly the Dark Side has already had its way with your sanity. No, no, no. Hives that reproduce produce constant insect meat and also produce constant insect jelly. We've got quite a lot over here. Oh, really? It seems that the animals here all wanted the insect. Oh, no. We should have built the door. We should have built the door. The insects probably driven to distraction went in to try and get what they could. Well, rip hive. That is a shame. Though, honestly, it's not an enormous pain for us now. We've already gone past the point where we would have truly needed that insect jelly, but that is quite the shame, I must confess. Right, I would like the mega spider to be hunted if you could. Must designate huntable animals. Well, Erin, care you to kill the mega spider while it's down? It'll just be an issue for us if we leave it there. So just take it out, please. It's going to die on its own, but it would be nice if you'd help it along with a bare minimum of suffering. I'll be honest. If it woke up now and decided to claw your face off, you'd deserve it, Erin. You're an amazing shot. Don't even pretend that you can't do it. Why are you torturing this poor innocent insect? Erin, that was cruelty. Just plain and simple, massive levels of cruelty. My goodness. We've got all of the insect jelly in there. It is a shame that we have lost the stable hive. Okay, well that does pose numerous concerns for us at this point, because an insect hive could pop up anywhere in here, and that would be really actually quite bad. Really bad. Honestly, having the Dromedary may end up being a saving grace, because they're going to produce wool, and with wool we're going to be able to produce a very, very warm attire, and with that we should be able to make clothes enough that we could turn our mountain base into a relatively chilly area where insects are unlikely to spawn. Or at least give them somewhere that they prefer to spawn than in here. This is just a terrible, terrible accident waiting to happen, isn't it? Yep. Well, at least Rocket is getting plenty of work done. But okay, the group are going to continue on with their jobs for now, and hopefully we will have this ready in the near future. We are not far off having the geothermal power set up, and once we've got that, we will be building the geotherm in here. That should be enough to power any amount of growing we want to do back here. And that is going to be of extreme, extreme importance to us. Things are, well, they could be going better, but they could also be going much, much worse. There we go. Red Wolf has finally finished geothermal power research. This is amazing news. Now, Red Wolf's going to take a little bit of break from researching for now. We have still got quite a lot of food in there, but our priority really does now need to be on all of the necessary work that, that is going to go into preparing this area for growing crops. That includes trees. So let's first move these back into the very corners. There we go. And then these ones can be cancelled. And then this one deconstructed. And once we have that, in fact, Erin, if you could get on that right away, we need to prepare this for our geothermal power plant. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and hex paving maybe. Well, I don't want to waste any of the room, so I'm actually just going to grab some regular concrete. We know the size of this, and I would prefer to get some concrete down on the ground rather than just relying on the stone. So we'll pop down some concrete, give a proper foundation. We are building a large power plant on it. After all, it makes sense to me. We'll get that sorted. Now, hopefully, we can get that done reasonably fast. Red will be starting work on constructing some more stone blocks. Oh, excellent. Excellent work there, actually. We need the granite blocks quite badly, in fact. We do have plenty of granite chunks available, so Red Warp should be able to crack on with that for quite some time. Rocket, if you could prioritize working on this, perhaps? You're already holding holding the blocks to the outside. I really would prefer you to work on the concrete inside so that we can get the geotherm up and running as fast as possible. Everyone else in the colony is now turned in for the night, but of course, Rocket, our night owl, doesn't really feel the need to settle down for the time being. There we go. That is the footprint for the structure. Let's go over now to... We need 8 components for this. We have enough steel. The steel will not be the issue. Components, however, definitely will be. So let's go ahead. We may get enough from the remaining components that are available there. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to queue up the... Well, actually, how about you do that and then queue up the second one, just to make sure that we get all of this done reasonably fast. Are you any good with mining? I mean, you're good mostly only because you've done it a lot, but it's not something you really care for. It's not something you get any joy at all out of doing. Let's let everyone gather all of these materials. Once this is up and running, our colony is going to be in so much of a better shape. There we go. Let's get all of these together. There we are. Hauling some of the chunks from out there into the newly available spaces. I really do like the way you can piggyback storages. Ooh, what just got taken out? Looks like the cougar just had a small ratty meal. I do love the way you can piggyback resources. So, for example, if we ever did train our bear in hauling, the bear would be able to haul to this stockpile. From there, we could have just a general stockpile that it could haul to, because it isn't allowed in the rest of the base because it would decimate our meat supplies. And from there, our colonists could move it to one of the internal storages. Don't block the cougar in, please. Don't do this. I mean, that is ridiculous also, but fine. Erin is grabbing up a good chunk of the insect meat. Excellent. Excellent work, everyone. I'm very, very happy to see this going. Right, well, Rocket. Marriage ceremony. What? Did I miss that? Says something about beards to Rocket. Perhaps hoping that one day he will have a beard as majestic as Rocket. I imagine Rocket does have a majestic beard based on age alone. Rocket being 21. Red Wolf, I think, is only 19. Perhaps has a bit of a patchy beard, unfortunately. It's coming through. He's still a growing boy. Damn it. He's got plenty of time to develop the majestic manly beard that Rocket boasts. It's almost a little bit hurtful, frankly. Rocket just has this beard, doesn't put any effort into it, whereas Red Wolf just can only dream of having a beard like that one day. But Rocket, naturally, is the sort of elder male figure in the colony, the father figure, if you like, to taking on. No, don't worry, it'll grow. No, don't rub that weird cream on your face. That's a lie. It doesn't help. Whoever told you that was just playing a cruel trick on you, my lord. Shout out Erin about the other colonists, perhaps sharing a few words about Red Warp's beard troubles. Leaf and Buttercup returning to attend their marriage ceremony with armfuls of insect training. Is this perhaps a gift to the rest of the colonists? Maybe it is. Maybe you intend to. It's a marriage ceremony where the happy couple don't get any gifts. They give the gifts so that the guests will remember it. Is Erin presiding over the marriage ceremony? Work frenzy. Leaf is like, I'm so pumped for work right now. I'm getting married. This is amazing. All the adrenaline, the nerves, the jittery energy. This is lovely. Oh, what a lovely end to this episode I think this is going to make. Ah, bless them. A little chilly in here, but it's fine. I probably will build a vent to let more warm air in, though this is decreasing the odds of us having an infestation in this room, and everyone can handle this level of cold, so I'm wondering about that one. We might not change it. We'll see. But I'm hopeful that the vows were particularly poetic. They have married. Colonists are now celebrating the occasion. If only we had some booze. If I'd realised, I would have prepared some meals that you could eat. You know what? We've got to be practical. This is an amazing ceremony, and if we had the means, we would celebrate it, truly. But our animals hunger. I don't think Buttercup is the sort of person who would ever eat a meal knowing that her pets, well, potential pets, farm animals right now of an uncertain future. But I don't think that Buttercup would ever feel right eating when she knew that the animals outside were starving. So no, that would have been a horrible marriage for Buttercup. I'm certain. But there we are. Everyone is finished, and they're gonna celebrate with a load of nutrient-based meals. Red Warp isn't involved. Marriages, I don't know. It's not my thing. Ate outside, had about his fill of the cooing and happy discussions that just didn't quite get. Erin, of course, a little bit disappointed. You know, this was her brother's marriage. Come on. But that's where we're going to be ending the episode there. Do let me know down in the comments below what you think we should do with our dromedaries. Should we keep them for their precious, precious wool and also their, semi-precious milk? Right now, it's a drain on the colony, but eventually we will be able to just prepare kibble for them, if nothing else, or just straight up crops. We may be able to move the colony towards more of a simple meal economy for their food rather than nutrient paste, but I'm not sure I want to do that just yet, even once we have the means to, simply because nutrient paste is so efficient, and we are, for better or worse, still very much on the ropes with our supplies. We have researched geothermal power. It is the 14th of September, just going into the 15th, and things in the colony seem to be in a fairly good position. Do let me know down in the comments below what you think we should do with the dromedaries, and also if you would like to suggest a name for our bear, and I shall check those comments out in the next few days before the next episode arrives. I really do hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next, but until then, do take care, everyone.